Welcome to Roseflower Radio, the show that goes behind the scenes of your favorite independent artists and creatives. I'm your co-host, Micah Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, Finlay Matthias. With us today is an up-and-coming songwriter from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 15 years old.
What?
His song, Something Like This, is out now, and he's here to talk to us today a little bit more about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kenny Potter.
Woo!
Hi.
Live audience. Woo!
Woo.
Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah. No problem.
So from Pittsburgh to LA,
Yeah.
that's a crazy trip.
Yeah. Well,
Did you drive? Did you fly?
Yeah, we drove.
How long's the drive?
36 hours.
36 hours.
Yeah.
And you're out here meeting with your manager, right? You're just hanging out with your manager. How's that been going?
It's been great. We've made some very interesting TikToks that,
Yeah.
Oh.
you know.
Yeah, I was having a look at them a couple of days ago in preparation for this. Would you say that there's like a strategy that you use
Absolutely
for your
not.
TikToks?
No.
It's just madness?
Yeah. It's just whenever I feel the weirdest, then I pull out the phone. Yeah.
Of course. I feel like that's kind of what works on TikTok these days.
Yeah,
though.
it really is. Nobody wants to see somebody act, normal. So
So if you don't mind, I don't know your TikTok, so like, how many followers do you have?
I think almost 6,000.
Okay.
It's like 5,900 or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
He's more than us, bro.
Yeah, no, you got me beat. I got like 4, I think. I don't know.
I
But-
think I'm 2 of them too.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Your brand
so
account's out.
you're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yes.
Yeah.
So when did you decide that you wanted to do music as a career? You know?
Probably when I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I started playing guitar when I was 6,
Okay.
and I was like, well, this is great. And then like I started watching like Charlie Puth and like John Bellion and stuff. They would like make
Yeah.
their stuff on.
Yeah.
They have making of videos and stuff, and I was like, well, that doesn't look too hard. So
Yeah.
I just downloaded Pro Tools. And
Oh, you're a Pro Tools guy?
I don't anymore. I can't stand it. Charlie.
So what do you use
Oh.
now?
Cubase.
Wow, you're the first Cubase
I was gonna say that's the
we've got.
first Cubase stand we've had on the podcast.
I'm
We've had
a-
a couple for Logic, a couple for Ableton. I don't think
Yeah.
we've had a Cubase
I can't
yet.
stand Ableton. But
Hey,
Interesting.
yeah.
We can agree on that one. Micah might have some.
So what do you
Objections.
not like about Ableton?
It's laid out completely differently than all the other DAWs. So
True.
like every time I try to use it, I have to give up.
Interesting.
Because I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, people say Pro Tools is intimidating, bro. Ableton is
I
intimidating. That thing
heavily
is
disagree.
Pro Tools
scary.
isn't intimidating. It's kind of just like, it kind of feels like a child's toy to me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
So does Logic, but I don't know. I like Cubase because I had a Windows, and then I wanted Logic, but then I just like, okay, Cubase was the best alternative, and then I got a Mac, but I was already used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stick to it because I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
So when you were starting out, like, what type of music were you making, or like, how quickly were you getting into like? Because I mean, you're 15 now, right?
I'm 16,
16.
actually. I just turned
Excuse me.
16.
Oof.
Are you
Come on,
driving?
Micah.
I got my permit. Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh.
roads get ready.
Yeah.
They ain't ready. No, that's sick. So I was gonna say, so like, if you from 16 starting at like 12, you're
Mhm.
like what 4 year? Yeah, quick math, 4 years.
I guess so. Like, well, I started producing like while I was 12, but I had just turned like 13, I think.
Mhm.
Oh wait, no, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. So
He's
yeah, 4
capping.
years. 4 years.
4 years,
About.
yeah.
The quick
And like
math.
12 to 16, maybe it's only 4 years,
Right.
but that's still like 25% of your life up to this point. Would you
Yeah.
say that has your like inspirations and your styles and the way that you make music kind of adapted as you've
Yeah.
grown in age? Yeah.
Yeah. I end up listening to some different, like, I listen to different genres. I feel like a whole section of different genres every year.
Yeah.
And then they like kind of like blend together when I make something.
Mm.
And it usually comes out pretty cool.
Yeah. So you
Um,
mentioned John Bellion
Yeah.
and
Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth. was
John
the other one.
Bellion,
Yeah.
Charlie Puth, Lauv, Alec Benjamin.
Yep.
We're
Shout
like
out Alec
we're
Benjamin.
like the first people I started like really getting into when I was like in middle school.
Mm.
And then currently my favorite like artists and stuff, like there's a band called Nightly I really like.
I like Nightly. I
Yeah,
was
they're
actually
super good.
listening to them on the way here. Not even joking.
That's awesome. They just
Weirdly just shuffling music and their song came up.
Yeah, like the band Camino.
Nice.
I really like. We just went to Del Water Gap the
Yeah.
other night. I'm really into him. And then there's someone else I was gonna name, but
No, totally. That's cool. I
Yeah.
like that whole.
Jeremy Zucker.
Yeah,
Jerry,
love
yes.
Jeremy Zucker. Yeah, that's really cool because I remember listening. Like, I think it was Berenstein was one of like my favorite songs of all time by
Yeah.
Band Camino for a bit.
Okay,
And then lots of Nightly. So that's sick.
Yeah.
I get a lot of the like that's some dope music too.
that's
And
awesome.
my question is like going into that, was your parents like an influence in music? Like,
My dad was. He's right back there. But,
shout out dad.
Yeah, I mean, when I was little, I would just any music I heard was from being in his car.
Yeah.
So it would be the Beatles, the Four Seasons,
Yeah.
the Beach Boys, CCR,
Yes.
stuff like that, which really influenced me to want to start playing any
Yeah,
kind of
totally.
music. Like, I would see I would watch videos of Elvis when I was 4,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and I was
yeah.
like, I have no idea how he plays a guitar or whatever. I was just like, anyone who played a guitar when I was really little, I was like, I really want to know how to do that.
Yeah. Doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. Just things are moving and
Yeah.
sounds are changing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that music is kind of being, you just said from 4, music's kind of been in
Yeah.
your life the entirety of
As far
your
as
life?
I
Yeah.
can remember, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember anything past 4.
Yeah. And when did
Same.
you decide that
Same.
you?
After dude, I can't remember anything like after like Tuesday. My memory's so bad.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's bad, bro. I don't even know what I ate for. I didn't have breakfast actually this morning. So
Did you
I
forget?
don't think anyone actually
I
eats
didn't.
breakfast.
yeah, breakfast is a myth.
It's a myth, yeah.
There is no such thing as breakfast. There's
Breakfast
just
was made up by Big Breakfast to sell more breakfast.
big
bro.
breakfast.
Sell more breakfast.
Dude,
bro.
I eat cereal at night.
Everyone does.
Well, yeah, okay. I wasn't trying to say
Yeah,
that to
yeah,
stand out.
You're not going to believe this.
Yeah, guys, check this out. Ready? I know I'm so unique and so quirky.
Cereal's 10 times better, 20
Oh, so
times
good.
better. at
Okay,
night.
no, important question for you.
Yeah.
This will dictate the rest of the podcast.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
What?
Well, or good.
Yeah.
Favorite cereal.
Fruity Pebbles.
Interesting. Wow. I don't feel
Yeah.
like Fruity Pebbles is a good. I'll give you some nucks on that.
Okay.
I think like Fruity Pebbles is a good one, but it's,
It's
not.
just sugar with color.
Yes.
That's
Sugar with
color,
color. I'm a Golden Grams type of fella. I
Okay.
feel like they're slept on. Golden Grams are so good.
Bro, I'm a
I
Cheerios
honestly
guy.
don't even
I'm
know
Oh, you're
what
classic.
Golden Grams
I'm a
Cold
are.
cut
Cheerios
classic.
guy, bro.
I have no idea what that is, but
Golden Grams?
yeah, no idea.
Is it just a Colorado thing?
No. Do you know what Golden Grams are?
No.
Does anyone here know what Golden Grams are?
We're gonna
My
poll.
dad knows what Golden Grams are.
And shout out Logan. Logan knows what.
Come on.
Golden
I'm
Grams
just
are.
saying. They're good. You guys got to get your, this
Step
is
up.
spin.
Clearly, Kenny. Clearly, we are uncultured when it comes to cereal.
Yeah.
Clearly,
We
I
need
don't
a paid
eat cereal.
promotion.
Like I don't.
It's not a big part of our lives.
I eat
Micah.
cereal once a month at 2 a.m.
I know, because then you're like, dude, I need to eat this more. You never do.
Yeah.
Cereal's good.
Yeah.
I love cereal. I'm a big fan.
We all are.
This podcast is sponsored by cereal.
Yeah.
Just all of it.
Actually,
every
specifically
cereal.
Golden Grams, because you guys have to get yourself some Golden Grams.
We have to learn what they are. It's an awareness campaign.
It is an awareness campaign because it's so gas.
No. So, speaking of cereal, people eat cereal in their childhood.
Oh, wow.
When in your childhood, our little joke is that I do ridiculous segues.
We always try to
Okay.
like out
When
segue each
in
other.
your childhood, would you say that you kind of decided that not just specifically music, but more like being an artist yourself was for you? You know, was it like when you were watching these Elvis videos,
I
or
think
was it a bit later?
I think it was more watching a lot of Zach Sang's podcast.
Mm.
If you guys,
I'm not familiar, no.
he I think he's somewhere in Hollywood, but he like interviews like just like a bunch of like really big artists, and I was
Yeah.
just like, I was getting super into production, and I was like watching all the podcasts of artists who produce their own music, and I was like, that's just really cool.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
I really want to do that.
Yeah, just to be like self-sufficient as an artist and do everything yourself.
I prefer doing stuff myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like working with other people, like when it comes to songwriting and stuff. But when it comes to really detailed like
I
production
get
mix
that,
stuff,
yeah.
I need to be in the room if someone else is,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Totally.
you gotta at the very least have like the eyes on the to make sure they're doing exactly what you're
Yeah.
hearing, what you're wanting.
Yeah, like I've I remember I had to ask for another master for something like this because the reverb tail on the last second of the song was a half a second too short, and I was like, I want you to make that half a second longer, and then we're perfect.
Wow. So
Dude
would you
knows
consider?
what
Are you
he's-
like pretty technical when it comes to like a lot of that stuff?
Yeah, pretty. I usually there's usually when I'm like trying to finish a mix, it's usually like the last thing is like I'll notice that like 1500 hertz is 1 dB too loud, and I'll pull it down. I'm like, that's perfect.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess so. How much? A lot of artists will say that they're artist producers, and then they'll produce, and then they'll send off to mix and master with someone else. Where
Yeah.
in the process do you?
Well, right now I'm still mixing my stuff.
Okay.
I get my stuff mastered by a different, guy because
Yeah.
that's
Who knows how to master?
no one.
Yeah. I feel like there's two guys who know
Well,
how to master.
And
It's-
every song goes through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still getting better at mixing. Eventually, I'll probably send my stuff to like someone, really expensive. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm mixing my own stuff to the point where I'm like, I'm the stuff I'm doing, I could charge like a mix for like at least 500 or something.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm like, I might as well just wait until I can afford someone really good.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's a smart move. Plus, with like,
And
what
I talked to my mastering guy about this thing, and he agreed. He was like, yeah, dude, like you should just keep mixing your own stuff until,
it comes
you're-
down to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. You
Yeah.
know, like if it's still
Right.
working for you, there's no point in like complicating your process.
Right.
And one thing that I think is super cool too is like now in this digital age where you can produce yourself, and we're like,
Right.
back when if you're listening to CCR, they had to go to a studio
Yeah.
and
with
get
the-
it recorded
with the
on
tapes.
Yeah, with an 8-track or something like
Yeah.
that, So it's really interesting how that has shifted and changed over time. And I think it's really cool that like as an artist, you can just sit in your room with nothing but a computer
It's wild.
and
yeah.
be able to make whatever.
Yeah, if you watch like Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury's like stacking his vocal like 18 times up by himself with this tape, and I'm like, I would have no idea how to do that.
Yeah.
That's
It's one of those things where it's like not that specifically, but just it's the same thing where it's like I bet you if someone who doesn't make music saw you in a room making something, they're like, I have no clue how to do
That's
that.
how I feel when I hear people talk about cameras.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, this is what an EQ sounds like to like my friends when I'm talking about like,
Yeah.
like getting the right compression ratio on a microphone is
Yeah.
the equivalent of my brother talking about shutter speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And ISO and f-stop, all that.
all
yeah.
that garbage.
Yeah.
All
So
that
is are your siblings also creatives? Do they also?
My brother does a lot of my photos, basically all
Okay.
of them so far.
That's super cool.
yeah.
Is he in Pittsburgh too?
Yes,
How old is he?
21.
21. That's crazy.
9 plus 10. Yeah.
That's sick. And is it
Hey.
just brother? Just two?
It's just one brother. Yeah.
Okay.
My little brother, I have a little brother. He so far doesn't do any creative direction.
Gotcha.
But maybe he'll.
He'll pick
Yeah.
up. He'll do the.
He'll join the team eventually.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know, be a roadie or something
Yeah.
in the Kenny Potter show. You know,
He could provide all my Legos on tour. And
There you go.
exactly. Set up the green room, make sure all the sets are right there
Right.
for you already.
Right. Yeah.
That's
put,
awesome.
Like Batman figures and stuff.
Yeah. And speaking of green room, you recently played some of your first shows, right?
I played. Yeah. May 28th. I played at Mr. Small's Theater in Pittsburgh. That was my first show.
yeah. How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
I'd say it's good. It was good. Yeah.
So one question I have for that is like, one thing I struggle with is I'm always like in the box too, like being in my room by myself, and like that's when kind of most of my like creativity blossoms and comes out.
Yeah.
And I've realized when I'm on stage or like trying to perform or something, it's a totally different market because then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't just Control Z like
Right.
a vocal. I just have to keep going.
Right.
So, and I consider myself a perfectionist in that regard. So I was just
Mhm.
curious, from your aspect of that, is it challenging for you to do live stuff too, or where do you stand on that?
Well, I'm still, I've only done like 2 shows.
Yeah.
now, like, and the first one was like a real stage. Second one was like a winery. Still cool.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting used to it. So like so far, I've got because of my computer knowledge, I was able to set up my live set with Ableton and stuff, which I didn't enjoy. But
Ableton,
Bite
come
the
on.
bullet on that one.
okay,
Yeah.
I don't mind Ableton for like live tracks and like the like just throwing them in and then routing them.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. I can't produce an Ableton though.
Yeah,
like,
that's
that
fair.
would drive me crazy.
It's complicated, bro.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to performing, it's something you like everybody has to learn. Like when it comes, like people can be great producers, you know, and still just have like extreme stage fright when they're in front of people. Just because even if you know you're really good, you're just like, that person probably thinks I suck.
Yeah, and like even if you're the best vocalist in the world, if you're standing in the middle of the stage like that the whole time, no one's gonna enjoy the show. You know, it's a skill to be able to like command the crowd and like keep the attention for an entire set that I feel like it just comes with playing shows.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. I think it comes easier if you're like good socially too, then you can just be like yourself. I don't consider myself good or bad socially, so I'm just
Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
No. I'm probably both.
Middle ground?
Yeah.
You know, I saw something that they described themselves as an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay.
It's been an oxymoron.
Sounds like, sounds like, you know, I understand it. I understand the term, I guess.
Yeah. Well, one thing I think is cool that first of all, congrats. You're the youngest person we've had on the show thus far.
Woo.
So
Age.
represent the youth.
Yeah.
Come on.
Shout out.
What I was going to say was, what's cool is that you're kind of doing this early, you know?
Right.
And there's a bunch of ways where you can grow and change, like even your sound, your style, who you want to be as an artist, whatever, you know? And one thing life has shown me is like, you know, when I moved out here, my plan was not, all right, I'm going to set up a podcast with my friends and then we're going to do like...
What the hell do you mean it was?
It was my plan the entire time. I woke up and I was like, man, podcast. But what I was going to say is like, as things progress over time, who you want to be and your sound and everything can change just with, you know, your situation. And I think it's cool that you're targeting this and like running at music at such a young age.
Yeah, thank God for computers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I wouldn't be able to if it wasn't for like the era we're in.
Yeah.
Because like, if you don't like we were saying before, if I wanted to do what I did in the 80s, I would need a record deal so I can go into studios and not have to like pay for it. And,
Totally.
like, you know, but you can just pull up your program on your MacBook now and it comes with plugins, you know, you can use.
You need got everything you need kind of in the stock. For most of the,
I know
most
friends
of
who
the
use
time.
GarageBand and like are selling millions, you know?
Yeah.
Well, millions of streams. I don't know if anyone of my friends are millionaires. I feel like I would
Yeah.
have to hit them up if so. Be like,
If they're
hey, remember
millionaire-
that one time?
If they're millionaires, I would just consider, you know, using Logic.
Yeah.
At that point.
There you go.
Yeah, but they still can't afford it, man.
No, but
Spent all their money on the MacBook, can't afford the Logic that
Yeah,
comes
totally.
with it, bro.
Even though they're a millionaire.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say is it's really cool that you're targeting or that you're chasing this at such a young age.
Thank you. Yeah.
I feel like let's say this for example, like if you right now at the age of 16,
Yeah.
he can. The permit threw me off. You know, I was expecting
Yeah.
license, but I don't know. What I'm saying.
Pennsylvania. I don't know what it is here. You can't get your permit till you're 16 in PA.
Oh, really? So what
Is
do you
it different
drive
here?
What, I don't know. I'm not a local.
It was 15 and a half in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So that's I used to live in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And then I moved to PA like 4 years ago. So I kind of started, you know, producing when I moved. But I was pissed because I learned that it was like 16. So it's like, I don't know. It's just annoying.
So then you don't start officially driving until you're 17, right?
No.
Because do you need it for a year or how much?
Half year.
Half
So
year,
I
6
can
months.
get my license December 16th,
Okay.
2022, because I got my permit on June 16th.
Gotcha.
So
Bro's gonna end up with his license before I do, bro.
Oh yeah, you
And
you
her.
can't even drive either.
I can drive in the UK. I just can't drive here
Yeah.
because honestly, I don't really want. It's
you
so
can
scary.
drive in the UK, but not here.
I'm British.
You are?
He British.
I don't sound it because we don't need to go into the whole thing. I'm British.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I was very confused by that sentence. I can drive in the UK.
Yeah, it's actually
Not
because there's a specific law that says Finlay can't drive in California, but he can drive in the UK.
Personally, I feel like I'd be great in Iceland, nowhere else.
Yeah, dude. Nothing there, right?
Because there's nothing there for you to hit. So you just.
I want to go to Iceland, dude.
Except, you know-
Iceland looks so sick.
Yeah.
So
wait,
we were-
Iceland's all green, right?
Iceland
Yeah.
is green and Greenland
Yeah.
is icy. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Society.
They got a bit confused. Well, like they were in Iceland and then they went to Greenland and they realized that if they called it what it really was,
Right.
nobody would move there.
Yeah.
So they called it Greenland, hoping that people would go there. And then people moved there. And
I
be
feel like
"Oh,
not
it's
a
gonna
lot
be
of people
sick."
know that.
I know that.
Micah, do you know that?
I did know that.
Logan, do you know that?
Congrats.
Logan, do you know
Okay,
that?
never mind.
We're a
Everyone
highly
knows that.
educated podcast here.
Yeah. IQ
sweet.
of 7 combined. But what I was
We share an IQ point between the three of us. Only one of us can have it at the same time.
That's fair. We gotta switch out. But going into all of this again is like at the age of 16, the fact that you're doing this right now, like we're capturing a moment in time
True.
where you are, you know, have your permit, you're just starting music, you're like, or not just starting, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're in the early stages of your career, which I can see going far,
Yeah.
you know?
Appreciate it.
So like the idea is like, where do you see yourself in like 10 years from now? 26. Hopefully you can drive by yourself at that point.
I'll have albums out
Really?
Oh,
and I'll be on tour
Yeah.
okay.
and I'll be able to buy as many MIDI keyboards as I wish.
There you go.
You know,
Are you building
I can
MIDI
buy a
keyboard
Juno
that-
106
Oh.
by Roland, which
Yes.
was, I think they stopped manufacturing in 1996 or 7.
Yeah,
or
you and
something.
Logan got to talk about it. Logan
Yeah.
is real into his Sims. Logan's got a big old Sim studio.
He just starts nodding. Yep.
Correct. Yes.
And a Prophet. I could get one of those.
Totally.
I should just start naming synths and just
Yeah.
like
Just in the back,
rating
oh,
the
yeah.
the
Welcome
head
to the
nods.
Roseflower Synth quiz.
Yeah. What's your favorite? No.
No, so, well, speaking of, when you go to write,
Right.
kind of what comes to you first? You mentioned some synths. You mentioned guitar as well.
I pull up this plugin called Serum. It's
Shout
a synth
out.
plugin.
Yeah.
And I go through many presets, and when I find a cool one, I make it different.
Yeah.
Nice.
By like, I don't know, I just like adjust like
Turn
effects
random
and
knobs.
stuff, and
Yeah.
like until the random knobs are like that's what the sound I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EQ I usually end up cutting highs off with a 48 slope. I don't know if this makes sense, but
No, I
But
it's
we're
a
all
really
we're
nice-
producers
yeah,
here,
we
bro.
all-
sounds really nice, like the filter. If you cut out the highs, like at 48, and on like Pro Q3 by Fab Filter, it's like I don't know. It's just like it's this perfect like kind of underwater
Yeah.
womp womp noise.
Womp
if you
womp.
get like a
like a
Plux,
like a
I don't know.
filter.
Yeah.
Totally. So then
Yeah.
you're saying you start because I start with drums if I'm producing something.
Okay.
And I know that there are some people who are like,
Yeah, I'm always scared of that, bro.
A
He
lot of
comes in
times-
with drum beats. I'm like,
A lot of times I'll put the BPM in, I'll write the synths, and then I'll mute the synths and then make the drums. So then I have just the drums and the synths, and then I unmute them. And they're always cooler if they're muted when I make them because I didn't.
it's not what you expected.
Yeah, it's like not made to go with the synth.
yeah.
It's made to sound good. So like if
Interesting.
it's I don't know, I just usually do that because
Yeah.
then like when you unmute them, it just I don't know, it hits different. And then I add like an 808 or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And do you mix in Cubase as well?
Yes.
So what is that? I mean, like, I don't even know. I have never opened Cubase in my life.
It's very much like Logic, just like better.
Interesting.
Fighting
so
talk
like I
there.
think
Yeah.
so well I don't know. Cubase I feel like it's easier to get to things that you would need to use very fast. For example,
Yeah.
like Logic, I feel like you have to do a bunch of stupid shit to find what you
Yeah.
want to do. Like automation, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
know in
Logic automation
GarageBand,
pisses me off.
GarageBand
Yeah.
automation is like way too hard. I remember that, and then I went on Cubase, and I like it's so easy.
Yeah.
Just
I
click a
don't know.
button and then it
But
goes.
you can. I feel like you can do.
It's also
like
pretty easy on
everything.
Ableton. I feel like I should let you know.
I noticed that it isn't that tough.
I'm just messing with you, but that's super cool. So then now I'm gonna ask the reverse question of what I asked. So instead of where do you see yourself in 10 years? Like,
Yeah.
let's say you could go back right now in the time warp, the timescape, and you flash back in time, and you're talking to your, 12-year-old self who's looking at, Charlie Puth or John Bellion on YouTube or whatever, and you're just like, how are they doing this? Like, if you could tell 12-year-old self, 12-year-old you,
12-year-old self you.
if you could self you 12-old,
Tell him.
tell him, what would you end up saying to that little fella?
I'd say because like when I was 12, there's a million things that I couldn't figure out when it comes to production. I was pissed about I was like, I don't know how to make that sound good. I would just be like, you'll end up figuring it out. Like like all the shit that you're mad about that you can't figure out, you'll end up getting.
Yeah, just chill a little bit because you're gonna get it. Yeah,
and there's still things like that now where I'm just like where I'll get mad because I'm like I can't figure how to get sometimes I'll just give up on a beat because I'm like I don't know how to make this bass sound good.
Yeah, totally.
And then I don't know, just stuff like that. But with practice and experience, it ends up being a lot easier because you'll make a beat and you'll just mix it without even thinking about it. You'll mix it really well. When you have that experience.
Totally. No, I get that.
So I'd be like, yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give him hey, you're chilling.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
I'm gonna put my phone over here because it keeps falling out my pocket.
You're good.
Phone.
So you're in Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah.
You were in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Do you see Pittsburgh as being the long-term goal?
No.
No, at New York, LA, Nashville. Do you have a
probably more like LA? If I have enough money to buy, if I someday I'll have enough money, I can get a house here.
Yeah, I wish you luck.
Bro, we gotta hit up Micah's millionaire friends.
With the million streams.
GarageBand, they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, my friends use GarageBand. They can get you a house.
Yeah, I got the ends.
They're
they know what
saving
they're
all
doing.
their money, bro.
Yeah.
They've never bought a plugin.
Oh no, genuinely, I know homies who use stock GarageBand.
If you just know how to use the plugin, you can make anything
and can make better music than I ever could.
Yeah.
Really talented people. So I think it's super sick. And I think that the ability that, and I said this before, but I think I'm going back on it. I think the ability that we can just sit here in a box. And you and I, plus ultimately, other than an hour ago, you and I never met.
Right.
But we can both sit here and be like, oh yeah, the
I
fab
don't
filter.
know this man.
Yep. I'm horrified. Just kidding.
No.
But
I woke up and I was here.
That's kind of it.
That's kind of what it felt like, actually.
No, but yes, that's what I'm saying is I think it's really cool how, you and I could be totally different sides of the world.
Yeah.
And both be like, oh yeah, the EQ and the,
yeah, man.
Serum. Yeah, mess with the, whatever. So I think that's super cool. And
the
I think
threshold knob, dude.
Yeah, come on, get it going. Yeah.
I have a great buddy that really loves the threshold knob on compressors. We're great friends.
Just in general.
Yeah, that's it.
What's his favorite?
No, I'm joking. I was just talking about him.
I thought you were being serious. I was
like, why the threshold?
Bro, here's the thing. I know some people who probably would be all over compressors.
We bond over compressors. Yeah. I actually do have a friend that we bond over. Actually, I'm not even joking. Now that I think about it, my friend Brian, that's all we talk about.
Shout out, Brian.
Brian. What's up?
Brian, the compressor guy, bro.
Compressor guy.
Yeah.
So I have the same dude, this guy who analog EQs and stuff. He's always like, dude, have you seen the new? And I'm like, yeah, man. We'll just talk every 3 months just randomly about new gear and then never talk again.
Yep.
So it's just one of those things. But I think that where you're headed is a super cool place. I really
Appreciate
like the I also really like a lot of the artists that you say bring up inspiration as well. So.
Yeah, the girl who got me my show in Pittsburgh is friends with Nightly.
Oh, really?
So that's kind of how I got into Nightly because she was telling me that she used to help out with their shows in Pittsburgh. And
stuff. That's cool.
And I was like, I didn't know who they were, but I know they're very much they're pretty similar to Band Camino, the 1975 too.
Yep. Love 1975.
Every artist does.
Yeah, I know.
But. Yeah, that's how I found out about Nightly, but now they're one of my favorite bands for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to them enough to sit there and be like, oh, I know all the ins and outs of. I've heard
I watched all of their behind the scenes videos on YouTube and stuff, which is where you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm fans.
Yeah. So worth it, definitely worth checking out and getting into.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Bet.
Shout out
Might have to.
Nightly.
Shout out Nightly
Shout
for
out
sure.
Nightly. So I
John,
have
Nick, and Joey.
Yeah.
John, Nick, and Joey. Okay, yeah.
That's all one name, by the way.
John, Nick, and Joey.
John, Nick, and Joy.
John, Nick, and Joey.
John, Nick, and Joy.
So you just released your song, something like this, right?
Correct.
Love it. It's a vibe. I was
Thank you.
bumping it last night. Do you
Thank you.
have anything coming up? Maybe like another project, or like a project, another single. Like, what are your plans for?
Yes. The next single is called Marty McFly.
Okay.
And it's funny that you mentioned going back to when you were 12. The song is like the basis is if I was Marty McFly, I would go back and save us.
Oh,
It's
really?
It's like, yeah, and there's like a sample at the end from like Back to the Future
Heck yeah.
of Marty and Doc talking.
That's sick.
It's like my favorite song I've made yet. But it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a relationship song, but it's like it's got the cool workaround of Back to the Future, just like 1985.
Yeah.
I drive back and save us. Is the
Yeah.
line,
What made
yeah.
you think of that? Like using that?
I was on a
reference
meeting.
specifically?
I was on a meeting with Hannah, and
Who's your manager, by the way? I feel like we should
my
mention that.
Shout out
manager
Hannah.
Shout out Hannah.
is Hannah. And so we were on a meeting, and I think I was like, oh yeah, I don't remember the specifics of the conversation, but I probably said something along the lines like I'm trying to fix something. I was probably just like, yeah, I was like, well, yeah, if I was Marty McFly, I would do that.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's a song.
Yo,
And
that's
then
a bar right
Yeah.
there.
I wrote it down, and I was like, that's gonna be
That's the next hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any like release plans for that, or like any like just to get the fans on their toes? Like,
Yeah.
do you have any plans for
I
when
keep
that'll
hearing
come?
of this app called TikTok.
Yeah,
That people talk
Ah.
about sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little app. You know, I've been on a couple.
No one
times.
uses it.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what we're talking about.
Apparently I'm supposed to make some. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think like a bunch of like visualizer, like kind of, we're trying to get like LA scenery for this song.
Okay, yeah,
And like, I think we already have some really cool photos.
Totally.
yeah. So is that kind of why you're out here? You're like getting some material, kind of planning your next release.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the main thing. And then we got sessions and
You're telling me that this wasn't the main thing?
you didn't.
You
Come
didn't
out
fly
here?
all the way out here just to talk to two random dudes on a couch?
well, I did, but like,
Just kidding. I'm just messing with you. No,
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
know.
No. So we kind of mentioned there, your manager Hannah,
Yeah.
who lives here in LA while you are in Pittsburgh. Yeah, shout out Hannah. So how did you guys get connected?
Instagram. Somehow Christian French was involved.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't remember, but I think I don't know, but
It's all a blur.
we were both Christian French fans basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another artist I
Yeah.
really like.
Shout out. Yeah.
And then just she DM'd me and she was like, I really like your music. I'm trying to manage somebody and so on. And it's been great.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I had just I think one final question. We are pretty much wrapped up here,
Okay.
but we like to ask artists a question really just based on who they are that maybe only they could answer.
Right.
So yeah, you're a young guy with a manager out
Yeah.
here in LA for a little trip as
Right.
an independent artist.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, and this is might be kind of weird to answer in front of your manager, but as an independent artist, do you feel like management is a necessity to moving forward? You know?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
So like, I know like there's a lot of like pretty successful artists on TikTok and stuff that some of them don't even have a manager. Some of them just like are completely independent to where they're doing it themselves. I think personally for me, what works best is having people around, to help
Yeah.
me
Totally.
get stuff done. Because if you don't, you can just convince yourself in your head like, oh, you don't need to do that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
you need somebody that's kicking you
because
in the butt.
nobody around is gonna like tell you to do it. So
Totally.
Yeah.
like I think if you have people around you that are helping you get stuff done, then that's best
It takes a team.
for me. Unless you're like,
Yeah.
unless you've got like crazy willpower to where you can do everything
Yeah.
yourself and you're super determined, which I am, but I'm not like determined to the point where I can make 7 TikToks every day and never forget
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something, or
A lot of
whatever
work.
they want, whatever.
Yeah,
It's-
there was like a month period I was trying to do 3 TikToks a day,
yeah.
and by the end of it, I was
The 7-second videos with the paragraph of text thing.
yeah, it was yeah.
Oh, it's
After
the
a while,
worst.
it just gets tough, tiring.
It's crazy, like just how much like even TikTok has just have control of like our whole like music industry as a whole as well too.
Literally over, I think like 80% of jokes among Gen Z is stuff from TikTok that you don't even have to ask. You don't even have to
Yeah.
be like, hey, did you see the TikTok or the joke or whatever? You literally just say it and everybody knows it because
Yeah.
everybody's on this stupid app.
It's so
Totally.
ingrained into what we're doing and
Yeah.
like into how we communicate with each other now.
In a minute, I'm gonna need a
Yeah.
some of that. Yeah,
Well,
everyone
yeah.
knows that song.
Yeah, like and we
Like
we
that.
live on the other side of the country from each other, but because
Right.
of TikTok, you started that song and both of us
Yeah.
finished the
Yeah.
line.
Exactly.
Like
It's wild.
and
My money don't jiggle, jiggle.
It folds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, totally.
shout out Louis Theroux.
Yeah, for real.
No, so I think we are about at the end of our time, but what we like to do here is we have this camera here, we have this camera here. Kenny, anything that you want to plug, your socials, your new releases, your upcoming releases,
Your dad, your manager,
dad,
your
shout out.
sister.
your sister, anything you want to promote, plug, you got these 2 cameras. Look at them and let us know.
Check out my music. Wait, no. Okay. My name's Kenny Potter. My Instagram's Kenny Potter Music. If you check it out, I am manifesting that somebody will give you a free Cheez-It.
Oh.
What? Like, why would you not want that? Okay.
That's a pretty good incentive.
You could go follow me on Spotify right now, and I guarantee you, like, eventually, within the next 3 decades of your life, you will end up getting a Cheez-It somehow.
This man.
That's all I can tell you.
The
He just
ghost-
hit you with
Love
like
ya.
the "Don't read this, you'll be kissed on the nearest Friday." Do you remember those things like on SoundCloud and all that?
No.
Am I
No.
that old? Okay, wait, no. The
No,
whole
you're
thing.
not. I'm just that young.
No, the thing where it's like, it's like, "Don't read this, you'll be kissed on the nearest possible Friday by the lovey." Do you know what I'm talking about? Thank you. I just needed some validation because
You're
I just have a bunch of eyes on me, like I am
I
wild.
feel like I'm out of the loop here a little bit, bro.
That's what. Don't worry about it.
No, and Micah, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Micah W Music, and yeah, that's all I have to say. And Finlay, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Finlay Did It on Instagram. That's about it. I will say I cannot promise you a Cheez-It.
Yeah.
I just don't have the resources that Kenny does to promise you Cheez-It.
Get wrecked.
Oh
I'm
man,
sorry, bro. I mean, I spent all my money on this set, so
Yeah.
I can't afford all the Cheez-Its.
that's fair.
No Cheez-Its left.
No cheese.
You can listen to more episodes of Roseflower Radio on Anchor, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can watch the full version on YouTube. Kenny, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you so
This has
much.
been a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
this is fun.
Yeah.
And all right, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.
Peace out.